For the trunk. right.
Today you will take a look inside the American Honda factories. You'll see how Honda supercars are made from start to finish. This is how the car bodywork is being prepared for the paint job on the latest Honda Civic hatchback. This beautiful blue color is one of the most popular on the Honda Civic. Owners also very often choose white and red. On the main assembly line, The front window and the fifth rear door of the car are attached using robotic feeders. It is currently the 11th generation of the Honda Civic. Along with the Honda CR-V, it is the most popular model in America. Now back to the Marysville Auto Plant to see the beginning of the full body painting process. This is the new fully automated paint shop, which can paint 1,000 vehicles a day. Minor bumps are now sanded out under the supervision of an experienced Marysville factory employee. Once the bodywork has been completed and cleaned, the addition of all elements and parts to the car begins. It is one of the most integrated and flexible auto plants in North America. A first North American assembly plant opened by a Japanese manufacturer in 1982. As of 2024, it is the assembly plant for the following vehicles: Honda Accord, Acura ILX, Acura TLX, Honda NSX, badged as Acura for the American market, and Honda CR-V. Once the chassis assembly is complete, the car is lowered and chrome features such as the Acura TLX emblem are installed. The Marysville plant is equivalent in size to 39 Walmart stores under one roof. Honda overhauled the Marysville plant over several years, one department after another, without losing a day of production. The wheels of this Honda are mounted using 5 bolts that are tightened to a precise force. The beautiful red leather seats are wrapped in protective plastic bags during assembly to prevent damage. During overhaul, Honda replaced old hydraulic welding systems designed for specific models with programmable electronic welding robots that can weld different vehicle body types for better flexibility and higher productivity. The Acura logo is based on a caliper, a tool familiar to any craftsperson. A caliper is a measuring tool that's designed to take precise measurements of an object's length. It's the perfect tool for measuring parts big and small, giving you an accurate reading of minute details. It uses a new waterborne coating system with 84 Motoman robots that reduces emissions of hazardous substances by 41%. This is production of the second generation NSX. It has a hybrid electric powertrain with a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged V6 engine and 3 electric motors. The first part of the production process is also in this case welding. Firstly, large parts using robots and then manual welding by the car company's employees. The process of painting the body of the Honda Acura NSX is extremely thorough and takes place in several layers. The car's body utilizes a space frame design, which is made from aluminum, ultra-high-strength steel, and other rigid and lightweight materials, some of which are the world's first applications. The first NSX rolled off the production line in Ohio in 2016. The first sales of the second-generation NSX in the US were registered in June 2016. The NSX engine is being assembled in another part of the Ohio factory complex. That building is called the Anna Engine Plant. 300 units only of the NSX Type S were destined for the United States, with 30 units for Japan and 15 units for Canada. This engine is partly part of the SHA-WD, Super Handling All-Wheel Drive powertrain, with a total output of 573 horsepower, 427 kilowatts, 581 PS. The transmission is a 9-speed dual-clutch automatic. This is what the engine installation looks like. Due to the small number of cars produced, hundreds of cars, most of the production is done by manual labor. Once the car's front dashboard is installed, dozens of wiring harnesses need to be connected to the car's engine and control unit. Car frame assembly comes after partial completion of the car interior. This production sequence is unique in car manufacturing. In supercars, much of the processes and procedures are different than in mass-produced cars. With fewer cars produced, it is not worth buying special factory robots to do this. Quality testing of the Honda Acura NSX takes place on every single vehicle produced. This special station is used to test the maximum power output of the engine and the performance of the engine and electric motor in general. This test engineer sees the engine's response when adding and removing throttle and a range of performance data. East Liberty Auto Plant is a Honda automobile factory in East Liberty, Ohio, United States. The assembly plant opened in 1989. East Liberty is about 45 minutes northwest of Columbus, Ohio. Engineers working in the plant are responsible for providing the first set of hard-tooled parts and complete body unit builds for 9 other CRV plants around the world to follow and replicate. The plant's 200,000 square foot welding shop was expanded and underwent a makeover with 200 new robots. The East Liberty plant exports vehicles to many countries including Saudi Arabia, South Korea, and Russia. The plant has around 2,800 employees. Annual production capacity is 240,000 cars and light trucks. Honda CR-V, Acura RDX, Acura MDX are produced here. The manufacturing process for the Honda Accord Hybrid begins with the welding of body parts here at the Marysville Auto Plant. In addition to robotic assembly, some body parts are welded manually by factory employees. This is how the front bonnet of the latest Honda Acura is assembled. Once the bodywork is complete, workers check the gaps between the parts and the accuracy of the welded joints. Installing the hybrid battery in the floor under the rear seats. After the battery block is installed, one large piece of carpet is now installed. While the bodywork is being built, the entire instrument panel is being assembled in another part of the production hall. Completely finished front instrument panel is delivered to the main assembly line in one piece. And here the entire instrument panel is easily slid inside the car using the robotic bracket and firmly attached. While the cabin of the Honda cars is being completed, the transmission is being assembled in another part of the factory complex. These transmissions are also assembled at this Honda factory in Ohio, United States. The transmission is moved along the moving conveyor belt and gradually assembled. For precision, the inner part of the gearbox is assembled by Honda factory employees. However, some processes are handled by robotic CNC machines. Computers can be programmed. At the end of the production process, the finished gearbox is moved to the main assembly hall by means of a sliding belt. After joining the body to the chassis, the car is almost finished and the chrome elements and emblems are assembled. Employees wear protective gloves, white suits, and headphones to reduce noise pollution. Once assembly is complete, the process of testing the latest Honda Acura. The car's handling characteristics are now being tested from the driver's position. Engine performance testing is also underway. Ongoing testing of brakes, lights, engine performance, and other controls. Next, the Honda car will be transported to the outdoor test track and then loaded onto trains and trucks. This is the start of production of the Honda CR-V in an American factory. The first stage is to weld the bodywork. After general welder comes the assembly of the front bonnet. Sealer application is underway right now. This process seals all the cracks against water leakage. Wiring and screw driving are handled by factory employees, not robots. Robotic machines cannot pull the various cables. This is hydrogen tank installation. Both blocks slide into the chassis of the Honda CR-V. The battery pack is supplied from the subassembly. This worker is trained for this specific activity. The finished battery now moves in a packed box to the main production line, where it is then inserted into the chassis of the car. Fuel cell assembly is now underway, also in a separate department of this Honda factory in Ohio. The chassis is now being joined to the car body. This part is called the marriage. Now all that's left to do is add chrome logos and car emblems. Everything is just glued and clicked on according to the special braces. Battery check and hydrogen system pressure check are now in progress. This process is at the very end of the manufacturing process after assembly is complete. The Honda CR-V is a compact crossover SUV. The initial models of the CR-V were built using the same platform as the Civic. This is the manufacturing process of the latest generation Honda Pilot, which is a mid-size crossover SUV. Primarily aimed at the North American market, the Pilot is the largest SUV produced by Honda. The Pilot shares its platform with the Acura MDX, as well as the North American market Odyssey minivan. The Pilot is sold in North America and the Middle East, while the Honda MDX was marketed in Japan and Australia for several years. In the 12-mile-per-hour test, this vehicle avoided a collision when using its high beams. When using its low beams, this vehicle avoided a collision. This is a production Honda Passport. In November 2018, Honda announced that the Passport brand would return as a two-row mid-size crossover SUV, slotting in between the CR-V and Pilot. This is the third generation of the Honda Passport. This model comes with an 8-inch touchscreen in all trims, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as standard. For the 2024 model year, changes include a larger center console and new armrest. The top Elite trim has been replaced with a new Black Edition trim. This is Ohio Transmission Plant 2-motor hybrid system assembly. Associates at the Anna engine plant assemble the Atkinson Cycle hybrid engine, the engine that marked the 30 million production milestone at the facility. Anna engine plant associates install components to engine block and cylinder head. Taurus two-motor hybrid system installed to Atkinson cycle engine. Power control unit installed to Atkinson cycle engine. Caps are the most common workwear. Such a mandatory dress code is not common in car factories in the United States. Thanks to unions, most factory workers do not have to wear a mandatory dress code, but can come in their regular clothes. Assembly here must be carried out with the utmost precision and accuracy. These workers are trained for detailed work. Power control unit installed to Atkinson cycle engine. Honda's manufacturing plants in America produce 5 million products annually. Facilities produce Honda and Acura vehicles and their engines, transmissions and components, aircraft and aircraft engines, power equipment, and power sports products. Associates at Honda's East Liberty Auto Plant, ELP, today celebrated the beginning of mass production of the all-new 2023 Honda CR-V Hybrid, following up on its launch of the gasoline-powered CR-V. This line prepares to assemble the doors one by one, step by step. This line prepares to assemble the doors one by one, step by step. The robots easily assemble the sides, roof, and floor of the car. The whole process is fully automated. Car bodies move automatically across the factory between assembly stations. The car roof is attached by welding and riveting. Now the engine and front axle are attached to the rest of the body. This process is called the merit. Each employee has a precise job to do within the whole production. Everything has to be on time. Developers continue to improve manufacturing processes during assembly. The production line is of course controlled from the control center, and the robots are set up via computers. Doors, seats, front and rear windows, and other large components are manufactured separately in another part of the factory. Each production station has a precise time in which to assemble all components. The doors are dismantled at the beginning of the main production line so that employees can easily insert the seats. The door is assembled in a few minutes and bolted to the bodywork. Honda is working toward its global goal of zero environmental impact by 2050 through its triple action to zero approach, including achieving carbon neutrality for all products and corporate activities, 100% utilization of renewable energy, and resource circulation, utilizing 100% sustainable materials by reprocessing products back to raw materials and reusing those materials in the creation of new products. Today, Honda employs more than 14,000 associates in Ohio across 5 plants with total capital investment of $14.2 billion and the capacity to produce 680,000 Honda and Acura automobiles. It produces 1.18 million automotive engines and more than 1 million automotive transmissions and dual-motor hybrid systems using parts from the country and the world. The new CR-V has the largest hood in product history, a key element of the bold styling that fulfills Honda's rugged direction for the brand's light truck lineup. Honda production engineers worked with the development team to increase rigidity by increasing the thickness of the steel sheet and adjusting the hood frame design so that it could be handled through the stamping and weld departments. The new CR-V is also dramatically increasing the use of high-performance structural adhesive for increased body rigidity and is newly applying acoustic spray foam to the body structure for enhanced cabin quietness. This is Honda Precision Parts of Georgia. This factory started producing transmissions in 2006. Nearly 400,000 transmissions are produced here annually and more than 500 associates. Most transmissions are designed for the Honda Odyssey, Pilot, or Ridgeline. Honda is investing hundreds of millions of dollars here and plans to increase its capacity even further. At the end of production, the parts are taken to a huge warehouse where they are then transported to other Honda factories. The production process of the 10th generation Honda Civic begins here. This car has been in production since 2015 and is very popular in the US market. Welding at this Greensburg Indiana plant is the first stage of the manufacturing process. This stage is called body in white. At this point, the body base is checked before painting. The quality inspectors focus on the quality of the joints, the precision of the door flush, as well as irregularities and defects in the body sheet metal. The 10th generation Honda Civic FC is a compact car C-segment manufactured by Honda from 2015, replacing the 9th generation Civic. The 10th generation Civic was designated as a global model, which improved development efficiency and gained cost savings. In turn, Honda allocated the cost savings to improve the performance and quality of the vehicle. The spraying of the paint has several layers. Once the painting is complete, the quality inspector checks the paint layer and sends the bodywork to the next stage of the production process. During development of Civic, Honda targeted the model at the key US market, resurrecting its once discarded lead country system, which calls for developing a model specifically for its main targeted market, but selling it in other regions as well. Honda's resultant compact global platform for the 10th generation Civic adopts a sleeker, more sporty fastback design. The 10th generation Civic utilizes higher grade steel than the previous model. The unit body is 68 pounds, which is 31 kilograms lighter, while new body sealing techniques resulted in a 58% reduction in cabin air leaks. Staff have now added brake discs and shock absorbers. Next, the seats are quickly fitted to the car using the manipulator arm. An important part of the main assembly line is the wiring of the electrical cables and the overall connection of all parts of the car. The entire front dashboard is assembled in a separate part of the factory and delivered to the main assembly line already assembled. It is now taken inside the car using the manipulator arm as one big piece. Employees will also install the interior cabin noise lining and the upholstery above the engine. The production of the car is like a giant jigsaw puzzle. Everything has to be put together by hand. According to Honda, the 10th generation Civic Coupe made up around 16% of sales when it debuted in 2016, before dropping to 6% during 2020. The Coupe was discontinued for the 2021 model year due to low sales, and no Coupe was made available for the 11th generation Civic. In North America, it features Honda Sensing as standard and sport trim on sedan and coupe variants in the US market. The sport trim is equipped with the touchscreen display for the sedan and coupe variants, unlike the hatchback variant, which is equipped with the more basic, non-touchscreen infotainment display. The US market sport trim for the sedan and coupe variants was offered with the 6-speed manual and CVT. Changes at the front features a black housing around the projector headlamps for the non-turbo variant, restyled lower air splitter, piano black front grille, chrome black accented fog lamp trim, and lower chrome trim diffuser trim at the rear bumper. The interior is mostly unchanged except for the inclusion of volume knobs for the 7-inch touchscreen display, with additional physical buttons to adjust the fan speed for the air conditioner next to the climate button. A new sport trim was added above the LX trim, adding rectangular center exhausts, rear deck lid spoiler, and 18-inch alloy wheels. The end of the production process is followed by a thorough quality test in these illuminated LED tunnels. Here, workers polish the bodywork and check the overall finish of the exterior and interior of the new Honda Civic. Rear disc brakes are also made standard. To minimize NVH, the Civic adds fluid-filled suspension bushings. A dual-pinion steering system is introduced along with a thicker and more rigid 1.2 inches, which is 30mm diameter steering column for improved steering feel. Additionally, the steering gear ratio is variable, with 2.2 turns lock-to-lock compared to 3.1 turns lock-to-lock from the previous model. The suspension is also completely redesigned, with a revamped McPherson struts for the front suspension and a new multi-link rear setup mounted to an ultra-rigid rear subframe. Other features aimed at improving the ride and handling include hydraulic compliance bushings, variable gear ratio steering, larger front and rear stabilizer bars, and brake-based torque vectoring. The Honda Pioneer and Honda Ranger ATV HSC are produced in this factory. The Honda Rancher is an all-terrain vehicle manufactured by Honda and is one of the model line of ATVs. Currently, there are two generations of the TRX 420, which differ significantly in design and features. The first part of the production process is, as with conventional cars, the welding of the body frame. After the frame is welded, other components will be slowly assembled on this ATV. Almost 40% of all employees in this factory are women. Honda works hard to maintain a high ratio of female employees. The first model to bear the Rancher name was the TRX 350. Stepping up from the smaller TRX 300, Honda introduced the Rancher 350 to be a better model to be in between the smaller Recon and larger Foreman. This is Honda North Carolina Manufacturing NCM in Swepsonville. The transition of ATV production to NCM aligns with shifts in Honda's business focus that will result in greater manufacturing efficiencies and increased productivity. NCM currently employs more than 600 associates at the 700,000 square foot plant, which represents a cumulative investment of more than $380 million in North Carolina. These Honda ATVs are equipped with 999 cubic centimeter engines, automatic DCT and disc brakes. For these ATVs, the strength of the construction and the quality of the materials used are very important. These ATVs are popular due to their high strength and durable construction, wiper and washer function, windshield made of highly durable material, and panoramic rear-view mirrors. Additional equipment includes an additional hot water heater, uses polycarbonates with hardened double-sided coating. Roof sound insulation. Doors with gas strut and door lock with two locking positions are standard. At the end of the production line, employees finish the last assembly steps. Continuous quality control is carried out throughout the entire production process. Inspectors can move around the factory and carry out random checks. With its 999 cubic centimeter twin-cylinder engine, automatic DCT and independent suspension, the Pioneer 1000 lineup is the ultimate combination of on-the-job tough and weekend fun. These all-terrain vehicles move around the factory on a moving belt to allow workers to easily access the chassis and engine. One of the last parts to be mounted on an ATV is the rear hull. At the end of the assembly line, most parts are attached normally with an electric screwdriver. Workers at this factory also wear protective company suits, goggles, and caps with the Honda logo. Similar to the Acura NSX supercar or Honda Passport, these ATVs are tested extensively on a special test stand. Over nearly 40 years of production, NCM has manufactured a variety of Honda products including snowblowers, string trimmers, mini tillers, water pumps, pressure washers, generators, and general-purpose engines. The production of one of this Honda ATV RX takes a few days, just like regular vehicles. Completing the lineup, the unwavering Pioneer 1000 Deluxe model empowers you with endless possibilities. Highlighted by an array of features, the renowned reliability of Honda, the 2024 Pioneer 1000 redefines excellence. This tester focuses on testing turn signals, lights, horns, brakes, and other control functions. Depending on the brand and how it's treated, the average lifespan of a quad is 10,000 to 12,000 miles. If a quad is well maintained, it could last for over 20 years. Most vehicles start posing problems once they have covered 10,000 miles, but with a little attention and care, the life of an ATV can be a long one. Now these ATVs will be cleaned and packed for shipping. They are then loaded onto trains or trucks and shipped to dealers.